What's up, everybody, and welcome back to my horror corner. I'm Drop Dead Fred, also known as your found footage fiend. And today, that's exactly what we're doing. I've wanted to make a video like this for a very long time, and I'm just gonna say fuck it and go for it. Found footage. First of all, no shame at all. When people ask me about my favorite subgenres or anything like that, 100% I have no issue saying found footage is fucking my shit, dude. Because it really is. I absolutely love the different type of things you can pull off with this type of subgenre. You know, you have stuff from like haunted houses, you have stuff from very psychological things, you have very mockumentary style movies, and yes, I consider mockumentaries under that same subgenre as found footage. They go hand in hand, in my opinion. It's just a wide variety of different things you can do with it. And of course, there's very shitty ones out there. I mean, for every one good found footage movie, there's fucking 10 crap movies. I'm looking at you, Area 407. I'll never forgive you. Number 10. Fraser Park Recut. Came out in 2017, directed by Sam Hanover and Tyler Schnabel. Very cool film. One of the reasons I very enjoyed this, well, first of all, what it's about. You have two filmmakers seeking to make their first feature film or their first short film, something like that. And it's basically going to be a cast of three people. They're going to be them two in the movie, and they cast their lead actor, who is by far the best part of this movie. This is like obvious for me, and an obvious inspiration from Creep, but it took it a little bit differently, and I absolutely enjoy this because it's two filmmakers, and you get to see this process happening of them trying to make a movie, writing a script, casting people, making the choice of who to cast. I mean, it goes into all that, plus a cool little twist at the end, and it's a very psychological movie. Absolutely love this one. Number 9. Savage Land. Came out in 2015, and this is one of those more of like mockumentary than found footage movies. It's got 3 directors, Phil Gudry, Simon Herbert, and David Whalen. And in the small border town of, what was it? Sangre de Cristo, if I remember correctly. One night, it's like a population of like maybe 50 or so. One night, the entire town just gets fucking obliterated. There's just blood everywhere, fucking dead corpses, and there's only one witness with his film roll left. And it's basically this whole journey from where the first incident started all the way to how it all ended. And you have this one sole survivor, and he is fucking just the most chilling part because he doesn't show any emotion. He's obviously traumatized from whatever happened this night. So highly recommend this one. Number 8. Butterfly Kisses 2018. Directed by Eric Christopher Myers. Absolutely love this one. I believe this was my first film review I decided to do because I thought it was very unique. It follows the story of a failed filmmaker. I believe his first name in the movie is Gavin. And he ends up finding a box of hidden tapes in his in-laws' house, which contain, like, it's like a whole just series of tapes, which are all on this local legend of the Peeping Tom by these 2 film students who he can't find any information on. It's like they basically don't even exist. And he is driven to make this into a movie. And it's basically somebody finding the footage and trying to make it into the movie. And it's an absolutely mad journey. He's getting turned down. Oh, it's worth the fucking watch. Number 7. Be My Cat, a film for Anne. Came out in 2015 and directed by Romanian director Adrian Tofei. Keep an eye out for this director. He is very ambitious. He is fucking smart. The story follows a Romanian filmmaker who is fucking obsessed with Anne Hathaway, and he wants to make a movie. So what he decides to do is hire 3 actresses who kind of look like her and basically make a movie with them to show Anne Hathaway that yes, he can do this. But man, this motherfucker is insane in the most awesome way ever. It's like the Romanian Creep. That's how I always fucking refer to this movie. Number 6. I can't take myself seriously when I do that. Lake Mungo. Came out in 2008. Australian found footage, baby. Holy shit. Directed by Joel Anderson. And now when a family, I believe their last name is the Palmers, so we'll just call them the Palmers. When the Palmers are on a family trip, their daughter unfortunately has a drowning accident. And soon after, though, they start experiencing weird things around the house. And that's all I'm gonna fucking say. This is a slow burn, okay? You're gonna watch it and be like, nothing's fucking happening. Just go with it because the payoff is so It's so well done. It's very chilling. It's a very dreadful and tragic movie ultimately. Oh man, Lake fucking Mungo. Number 5. Leaving DC, directed by Josh Krish, came out in 2012. This is another slow burn where pretty much nothing happens. I've seen a lot of love for this movie, surprisingly, and with good reason. It's a very low budget, very self-contained movie. It's got like a total of maybe 2 people that are like on screen and like 1 person on a phone. And it's about this guy, Mark Klein, who's been living in the city for like 20 something years. He's in an OCD group and he's tired of the big city. He wants to go somewhere where it's chill, where he can relax his mind. I totally get that, dude. I completely get that. So he goes somewhere very desolate in West Virginia, I believe. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. And this house, first of all, this house is beautiful that he lives in. But man, you're fucking nuts, dude, because I would not want to live in the middle of nowhere by myself. Because on the first night he hears like a voice. He eventually hears like a flute playing outside his house. But there's nobody that lives in the area within miles, dude. So fuck that. Number 4. Ghostwatch. 1992, baby. Oh man, I first saw this on Shudder. The BBC went on Halloween night, decided to pull a War of the Worlds type of thing and release this ongoing live investigation, I believe, with actual newscasters. Like the people that are in the movie were actually well known for being in the news. So that was very well done to add that to the fucking joke of it, because holy shit, this movie takes this crew, this like newscasters, they are doing an investigation on what is actually a event that happened in the UK, I believe, called the Enfield Poltergeist. I think The Conjuring 2 also did something like that. But throughout the night, they do like an online seance and shit just gets buck wild. I think the reason I love this so much because of the story. Like, this was presented as true. Like I said, this is like a War of the Worlds type of thing. War of the Worlds type of thing where, you know, that was broadcasted over the radio and people thought it was legit. The same thing here. People apparently were calling in the phone number and it was like a mass panic, man. If anybody in the UK and, you know, over there overseas was around when this happened, please comment and let me know, because I would absolutely love to hear your reaction to this fucking Ghostwatch. Number 3. All right, this is so high on my list because there is something about this movie that I just absolutely love and almost can relate to the guy. First of all, we still don't know who directed this movie. Like, he just doesn't credit himself. There's just no credit for director, which adds to almost the authenticity of this found footage movie. Murder, Death, Koreatown came out in 2020. And after witnessing the aftermath of a murder that happens right across the street, which was based on a legit murder. So this can almost feel like an exploitation found footage movie, if you will. So after witnessing the local murder across the street, a local resident decides to take it upon himself to be an investigator. He's doing nothing else with his life. Maybe this is why I relate to him so much, because there's a point where he's just beating himself down because he's getting nowhere with this little investigation that he's trying to do. And I can just totally be like, man, I fucking felt like that so many times. But, you know, his little investigation that he's doing leads to one thing and another, and it ends up in a rabbit hole of fucking conspiracy and chaos and true crime. Number 2, Noroi the Curse, directed by Koji Shiriyashi. Fuck, man. First of all, this guy is like I would even say a pioneer for the found footage fucking subgenre. He's done movies like Cult and A Record of Sweet Murder, which both I highly fucking recommend, especially A Record of Sweet Murder. Holy shit. I need to make a video on that. So the film follows Masufami, who is a paranormal researcher, and he ends up uncovering this local legend of the Katugaba, a demon who is pretty much like still out in the world possessing people because of a failed ritual. And it's just one of these movies where it's like they like interview different people and they kind of intertwine at the end and it's all connected. But it's very chilling. It's very creepy. It's got some fucking weird imagery. There's like this crazy homeless dude. There's the fucking demon himself at the end. Speaking of which, the last act of the fucking movie is bonkers. This is one of those movies that I fucking just put on such a pedestal. Highly recommend Noroi the Curse. So, oh shit, I keep hitting my mic. So, before we get to the number 1, which if you know me, if you heard me talk about found footage, you'll probably already know this one, but I feel like I should just get some honorable mentions. Not too many, but just a few that didn't make the cut, but I still absolutely love. And just because these are my absolute favorite doesn't mean I don't like movies like The Blair Witch. Doesn't mean I don't like movies like Creep. Doesn't mean I don't like movies like Grave Encounters, you know. So it's just, these are mine where I feel like are like just, I count it for like rewatchability mostly and what they really meant to me when I watched them. The Tunnel, another Australian found footage movie, directed by Carlos Ledesma, and is the story of a film crew who sneaks underground under this train station to do a story on what appears to be bums or homeless people that have gone missing. But this is, all I'm going to say, this is a fucking creature feature done very well. It's a little slow burn. It's like almost a mockumentary found footage movie because it's like interviewing people and then it's cutting back into like the found footage aspect of it. But man, this was well fucking done. I've reviewed this one before, but Hell House LLC came out in 2015, directed by Stephen Cognetti, and it's a mockumentary found footage movie. It's a documentary crew. Whoa, fucking Mike. A documentary crew is seeking to find out what happened on opening night of Hell House, a haunted house run by a group of friends. Now, this one is fucking chilling in my opinion. I hate clowns maybe, that's why. And that might be generic. I'm just not a fan of them. It's just not for me. I don't care about your fucking makeup, your big nose, whatever. And this movie has one of the creepiest clowns I've ever seen with a very chilling scene, maybe a couple scenes with it. So with that being said, this is why. I thought it was very innovative too, the whole haunted house or people running a haunted house that ends up being haunted. I thought that was very fucking cool. The Poughkeepsie Tapes came out in 2007, directed by John Eric Dowdle. Holy shit, man. This is a mockumentary found footage movie, and it's fucking disturbing. We all have different levels of disturbing, of course, but for me, this was fucking it. It basically follows the story of a crazy fucking murderer, and he's left behind a series of fucking tapes. Like, it's a huge fucking stack load, and over half of them are just involving one person, his survivor. And it's just, dude, this is a fucked up, tragic, it's a perfect example of like Stockholm Syndrome and just fucking chaotic psychological torture and what it can really do to a person. All right, my last honorable mention is going to be Host, came out in 2020, directed by Rob Savage, released on Shudder. One night when a group of friends decide to have an online seance, shit just gets crazy. And that premise is very simple and it's kind of silly when you think about it. Online seance. And they do this all over a Zoom call. But no, this is very unique. This was a breath of fresh air. I absolutely loved all the fucking actors and actresses in the movie. The stunt work, the practical effects, it was top notch. And just keep an eye out for this guy because I absolutely loved it. Number one. And my number one favorite found footage movie of all fucking time is Digging Up the Marrow by Adam Green. If you can't tell, I fucking love Adam Green. He is one of my fucking favorite directors out there. I follow a lot of his work. He's got an awesome fucking podcast with another director, Joe Lynch. This was my gateway into fucking what all this is now, honestly, because I didn't grow up on horror, really. I saw some stuff, but I was fucking scared shitless. I said this in another video. I remember being young and seeing this part in Leprechaun 2 come on, and it just scared the shit out of me. Leprechaun 2 of all fucking things. That was me. You know, Child's Play fucking terrified me. I didn't see the first one. I saw the second one first, and that one just scared the shit out of me. Especially when he's like melted at the end, and he's all looking mutated as fuck. But I didn't grow up on horror. It's not like I wasn't allowed to like it, but I was scared. I don't know. It wasn't until I met my girlfriend to where I started being a lot more open to him. And we started going to see like those Paranormal Activity movies. It's not on the list, but Paranormal Activity is definitely one of my fucking favorite movies for sure. I just didn't want to put it on the list because it's very hit or miss with them. Like, I love the first one. The second one's okay. The third one's great. The fourth one is fucking shit. The fifth one is fucking amazing. The sixth one is fucking shit. So it's a hit or miss series, you know? And I started going on this little found footage bin and I came across this movie. And this movie, when I say it opened my world, because there's so much stuff in there. There's all these directors that I had no idea that make a cameo. You have Tom Holland and Mick Garris in there. You have Kane Hodder who plays fucking, Jason. It was just an eye-opener. There's a part where there's conventions in the beginning, and I never really had to look into a convention. I don't know why I never just went on YouTube and typed in horror convention because it just didn't interest me. But after watching this, I went and started researching things. Who is Tom Holland? Fuck, he made Child's Play. Who is Mick Garris? He made Critters 2. You know, like, it just opened my eyes. Tony Todd's in the quick cameo. Who is Tony? Oh, he's the fucking Candyman dude. I remember seeing some dude with a hook and the whole Candyman thing. It just ignited something in me, and it just, like, made me so curious and see what is all out there with the horror world. To think, like, I have this movie to thank for everything. Absolutely love this movie. I'm gonna shut the hell up. These are my favorite found footage movies, pretty much of all time. Happy spookies. Don't forget to subscribe.